I built a system that does hours of sales research in minutes. I'm going to give you the whole thing for free and show you exactly how to set it up in this video. By the end of this video, you'll have a fully working AI sales research pipeline running on your computer. So SDRs, GTM teams spend hours every day researching prospects, copy and pasting from LinkedIn, company websites, and news articles. It's one of those most time-consuming and repetitive parts of the sales process. There are a lot of great tools that help with this like Clay, but they can be expensive and not fully personalized to the way that you want to work or how your company works. So I built a free toolkit called the GTM Engineer that packages this entire workflow into an easy to use skill that you can run whenever you need to research prospects. The only subscription you'll need is a $20 a month plan for Claude Code or Codex, and I'll show you how to do it all without writing any code or getting into the terminal. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Now this is GitHub, but don't let it scare you because it's really not that scary, okay? What this is a collection of code that I've compiled in a very easy to use format for you, okay? So overview of the README. The READMEs are essentially like an overview doc of like, what is all this code about, okay? So the code is about the GTM Engineer Toolkit. What's inside? I've created 5 different skills for you that I've curated from the best of the best and packages all in this one guide that you can have access to as soon as you download this, okay? So we have the prospect research, which will build the research brief on any account. So the company overview, recent news, key people, etc. The ICP score, this is going to be used to measure if this person is ICP or not. And then we'll also define the ICP in this video together and show you how to adjust it to match your own ICP. An outreach writer, which is going to be used for any time we run this prospect research. It's going to automatically write the outreach for that person based on the research that we have of them as well. I'm going to show you how to use that skill. And then if someone reaches back out to you and says, hey, yeah, I want to get started, then we'll also have a meeting prep skill that will take all of this information about this prospect, their ICP score, and put it together in a meeting prep for you. And then finally, a weekly pipeline digest that just makes it really easy for you to see how this week went, the prospects, any meetups, all that kind of stuff. So these 5 skills will come preloaded into this toolkit. Now, how do you get started? Okay, so you need either Claude Code desktop or Codex desktop installed. Right now, I have Claude Code installed, okay? Now, before we actually install anything here, we do need to go into the folder on our computer and tell Claude Code where do we want to install this code. So in this case, I'm going to go into my computer here, and I'm going to go into the place that I want this code saved to, okay? So in this situation, it's JJ, and I have a projects folder, and then I have all the different repos, which are essentially folders of code in here. Now, I want to create a new repo here. I'm going to say new folder, and this is going to be the GTM kit, all right? And now I'm going to move this into the project section, okay? So now we have this area, okay? Now I'm going to open up Claude Code again, and I'm going to go click here, and I'm going to say choose a different folder, and I'm going to go to the same folder that I just created here. So, and then I'm going to go to GTM Toolkit right there, okay? So now we're in this folder here, and again, that's saved on our computer. So now I'm going to go back to the guide here, click on code right here, and copy this, okay? Now, these steps are applicable for any kind of GitHub repo, all right? I've been sharing a lot of different resources lately about how to use Remotion, Claude Code for beginners, my writing style. All of these repos you can also find. Maybe I'll put the links in the description of the video as well. And you could do the same exact thing with. You can download those repos to your computer and access all of that work that I've already built for you to get started right away. All right, so now once we have this GitHub repo, we're going to tell Claude Code to clone it to our desktop. What that essentially means is it's going to take the code that I have saved for you in the cloud, and it's going to download it directly to your device in the folder that we just created. Once you have that code downloaded on your device, you could start using and running that code locally to do whatever you want with it, okay? So we're going to say, clone this repo locally on my device. Boom. And then I'm just going to add the repo there. I'm going to say trust workspace, and it's going to start bringing all of that code onto our device. All right, now the code is available on our device, and we can confirm that by going into our folder, going into the GTM toolkit, and now we can see it's all there with the skills that come loaded with this, okay? So now the first thing I want to do is I want to go into this ICP skill. And at any time I can open it up and just read it. It's just a markdown file, which is essentially a document of written text telling the AI how it should perform, right? And so this says, hey, score any prospect against your ideal customer profile to decide if it's worth pursuing right now, worth nurturing, etc. So we want to invoke this skill when you need to evaluate whether a prospect is a good fit before spending time on them. Here is our current ICP definition, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Claude Code. I'm going to say, hey, Claude Code, help me adjust the ICP definition to better fit my business. Specifically, I have two customer personas that I want to go after. The first customer persona is an executive that wants to bring AI transformation to their organization. Maybe they're not the builder, but they want to share resources with their team members, the org, to help them get leveled up with AI transformation. And they might want to hire us for our services at 10x, or they might want to hire us for education and enablement, something like that. Usually an executive, a CTO, VP of engineering, that's one persona. The second persona is someone like you, a builder that works in an org, either as an ICP or a team leader that is bringing new technology, new AI skill sets to their pod. And we want to use these new skills to learn and then maybe hire 10x for deployed engineers or additional AI firepower that once this builder validates what they're doing, can then hire us to bring us in to help amplify their efforts even further. All right, so please update the ICP definition that we have in this skill to better match my company. All right, using Whisperflow there, I was able to translate it all, put it into my two ICPs there. And essentially what we're doing is we're saying, okay, we know that we have this ICP markdown file in our repo now. And that ICP markdown file includes definitions that were generic to what I put in the guide. But now we're personalizing it more towards us. This is everything that you guys should be doing once you get this guide. So it's very specific to you and knows your business inside and out. And now that we've told Claude who our two ICP personas are, it's translating all of this and adjusting and rewriting that markdown file to better personalize and suit it for our needs and our own ICP. All right, now it's saying, hey, I am ready to update this. Whenever you see anything green, that means new things being added. And then if you see anything red, which I don't see here, that means things that are being removed. Now it's asking, do you want to allow Claude to write to this skill, meaning add things to this skill? And the specific skill is the ICP score here. And we do want to allow that. All right, great. Now it's finished up and it says two named personas. Persona A, the AI transformation executive, and Persona B, the builder, the tech lead. We're scoring on categories that were restructured to match your GTM reality. The input format now surfaces personas match first, the scoring weights, etc. And we can keep going back and forth with this until we feel like it's fully updated our persona. I could even go back into this skill file here and I could read it in plain text to really see. And then I could always copy and paste stuff back in the Claude and say, hey, let's adjust this and keep working with it. It's like a doc in that way of just like going back and forth. But once you have this in place, it's going to read that, and those are going to be the rules that Claude references going forward, okay? So our ICP score is good right now. The next thing that we want to do is we want to do a test run on a prospect to see how this works. Now that we have that, let's tell Claude to add all of the skills in this repo and save it to our local desktop so we can reuse these skills. Hey, Claude, identify the skills in this repo, there should be 5 of them, and save them as simple short commands here that I can use with a backsplash to access them easily. Now it's reading the skills in this repo and making it easier for us to be able to invoke at any time, all right? So all 5 slash commands are reacted. Here's your cheat sheet: score, research, outreach, prep, digest, all right? They live in commands inside the repo and they're available anytime you want to try it. Okay, once we have these installed, we do have to close Claude Code and reopen it. Once you do that, you'll be able to do your backslash to your skill right there and be able to reference these commands at any time. So at any point, if I want to run any of these commands, I could backslash and then run them like that, okay? So why don't we do it? Let's test it out and let's see what we got here, starting with our first prospect. For the first prospect, I'm just going to do our own company, 10x. So I'm going to go into LinkedIn. I'm going to go into 10x and I'm going to grab their profile right here. I'm going to come back to Claude Code. I'm going to say, great, let's check this for ICP and then give them the URL there. Now we'll wait while Claude Code starts running through the directory of skills that we've set up for this GTM playbook. So now it's doing research on 10x. It's doing all the web research that it needs. We just allow those permissions. This is actually the agent running in different browsers, doing that web research for you. You can see it's pulling in a lot of information here, all doing it on your behalf. What does the company do? What are they? Who are they? All that kind of stuff. Things that you'll need for your research to not only find out if they're ICP, but for your outreach, etc. All right, so now the ICP score has come back and it's given us a 43 out of 100, saying the short version, this is you or close to it. 10x offers the same service as 10x, AI engineering, transformation, consulting. This makes them a direct competitor, not a prospect. All right, so they're too small, even though we're bigger than this. No buying motion, no trigger events. Great. So that's feeling pretty good. Let's find some other people that we could just randomly call out to see if they would be well scored for our ICP or not. All right. So let's go back to LinkedIn here and let's see about Alex here. Okay. So let's bring Alex back here and say, great. Now please grade this prospect. So now we've done a company and we've done a personal. It's going to be able to do both and match it successfully. Once we do this, I'm going to show you how we could do this in bulk afterwards. All right, actually, while this is running, I'll just show you right away. All right, so I'm going to go back into the folder here. All right, and I have my folders here. Okay, so now I can go into prospects here. I'll just let this run while I do it in the background. Prospects here. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to say list of prospects. All right, I don't even need to create a new folder, but I'm going to do it for this reason. Bring it right in here. There we go. And now I'm going to bring in a file that I have simply created here, which is a file, like an Excel file, a Pages file, of the different companies that I want to be researched and added to this prospect, okay? So now I'm going to go and save this to that folder that I have, okay? So I'm going to go in JJ. I'm going to move it here for now. And I'll go over here and I'll go company outreach, and it's going to be right in there, okay? Now I'm going to be able to reference that folder to be able to run this in bulk operations for me using subagents. So as soon as this finishes up, I'll show you how to now do this in bulk now that we know how to do it individually for a company or for an individual. All right, so now it's fetched all the information on Alex. It knows from the LinkedIn, the web searching, the company, etc. Now it's actually writing the score to see if Alex would be a good ICP match. So this persona attributes actually excellently. He's an executive chairman. He has a maximum decision-making ability, deeply AI influential, all that kind of stuff. But there are some blockers. He founded a company that is our competitor. So his score has reflected negatively because of such. And the active company that it looks like he's operating is also too small, okay? So this is still pretty good. I'd say both of those results were accurate and actually people that we don't want to target because they're competitors, etc., right? So now let's tell Claude Code to do this in bulk and report back to us, okay? So now we just got to remember where this is. It's going to be called company outreach. So, hey, Claude Code, now go into our list of prospects, specifically the company outreach document, review each of those companies, and do this ICP scoring and research, and save your results within that document there. Also use subagents to run in parallel to make this go faster. Let me know if you have any questions. So now we're telling Claude Code to go into this file right here, to read it, and to run this all at once, to research it, score it, and modify it as we need, so we could just do this all at once rather than one at a time. I do want to point out that this is created. So at any time now, if you just come across people, you could just go in there and like /score or /research, put their LinkedIn URL in there, and we'll go in there and Claude Code will grade them for you. And then we can do the outreach, the meeting prep, all that kind of stuff as well now that we're all set up. All right, so Apple Notes, let me extract the data. It's working. We're off to the races here. I'm just going to fast forward while this works on doing all of this for us, and then I'll come back once it's done. All right, so I found the companies, 10x, Clay, OpenAI, Anthropic, and LinkedIn. 10x has already scored. I'll launch 4 parallel agents now for the remaining companies. How smart is that? Cool, let's keep going. So now it is launching sub-agents, which means we have agents that are doing each one of these tasks running in parallel all at the same time to make this go faster for you. Again, we didn't access additional subscription or anything like that. We're just running this with Claude Code right now. This could still work with Codex too. So whether you're an OpenAI or Anthropic fan, they both work. I will say that at any time, if you wanted to take the enrichment to the next step, you can simply add Apollo or any of your other enrichment tools to these skills or within this repo here to add even more enrichment as we're doing this scoring. Right now, this is native without those APIs or those additional costs to keep things really lean and performant for you all. All right, so all of these are now running in parallel. Excellent. Hang tight. Clay is done, 77 out of 70. Anthropic is done, 37 out of 100. OpenAI is done, 29 out of 100. Just waiting on LinkedIn. It's bringing it all. Okay, now they're all in there together. So now all of the ICP scoring is saved, and it's saved in that file that we have created here. We can go over here, and we can go here and look at that. All of this is now updated, and Claude Code did all of that for us, okay? So again, all I did was provide it with this simple document with the names, and it went and found all of that for us. Okay, cool. We're doing really, really good here. Now, what I want to do is I want to say, help me write an outreach email for Alex. So now it's going to know to invoke the outreach skill that we can use, and it's already trained on cold outreach templates and emails and everything that you need to write really good outreaches. And now that we know who Alex is and all that information, we could tailor it very specifically to him. So by saying, hey, help me write this outreach email, we're invoking the outreach skill here. It's researching it. And there we go. It just created that outreach for Alex. It put it in our outreach drafts, and it's right here. So outreach sequence, Alex, who it is. And now we have 3 different emails that we crafted. So Alex, your post about building McKinsey for AI stopped me mid-scroll. We're building in the same lane at your company, AI transformation for orgs that want to move fast. Feels like a referral co-marketing angle could worth exploring, so we're not stepping on each other. Worth a 15-minute call this week. Boom. Email 2, email 3, all personalized to you. You just need to make sure that you update the Claude MD file saying what your actual name is. So let me just show you how to do that now. That's really good. Let's just update our Claude MD file to reference that I'm from 10X and that's my company name, and make sure that we put this in any kind of outreach that we do. All right, so we've personalized our ICP. We've personalized our Claude MD to know who this is. And now anytime we want to do any kind of prospecting, we can just drop in their LinkedIn for the company or their name. It's going to score them. And then at any time we could just say, hey, write this outreach sequence. That's going to draft all 3 of those sequences for us. So now that we have all this information, let's say Alex responded to us and says, sure, let's do a co-marketing. Let's figure this out. What I could do is I can go back to Claude and say, help me prepare meeting notes for Alex. He talked about or agreed to doing a co-marketing effort, and help me just strategize some synergy that we think we could find together here. All right, so now it's going to invoke the meeting prep skill that I've already prepared, and it's already ready to go in this repo for you. So at any time, if a prospect gets back to you, you could just say, all right, let's put together those meeting notes, and it will work on putting together the notes, and it's launching this skill now for the meeting prep. All right, so now it's doing this, and again, very similar to before, it's going to review the research that we've already done, going to review the ICP score, going to review our direct angle of how it could relate to the two, and help me put together meeting prep to make sure that I'm just really well prepared for this meeting. Again, we have prospecting, we have ICP scoring, we have meeting prep, we have outreach. All this stuff is in this guide, and it's just ready for you. And you can update it, you can tailor it, you can mix and match whatever is best for you. This is just the beginning. Like, let this be the starting ground to what you're working on here. Feel free to make it your own, create new skills, and really, take it to the next level. All right, so it just got back to us and says, all right, meeting prep is done. The sharpest angle here is X, Y, and Z. The things to propose in this meeting: media contributor, bilateral referrals, join LinkedIn content. And anytime, again, I can go back into this meeting prep folder here and find the output here, meeting prep, output, and look at all this information it's given me: company snapshot, person snapshot, partnership hypothesis, any questions I should ask, co-marketing angles to propose, competitive notes, desired outcome. All of this is just simply done by essentially our prep / command there. And then we could just tell it who we want to prep for. And we're pulling all this information from our local base here, okay? Now, you might be saying like, all right, well, JJ, I already have our CRM that I want to pull from, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to just use the, the CSV file that you're using here, right? Now, CSV file, that's simple, that's easy. You could do that, no problem. At any point, if you want to connect to Asana, HubSpot, or whatever, you can instruct Claude Code to say, hey, use the MPC server or use the API to sync in with my CRM contacts so we can start bringing enrichment from your CRM into Claude Code to run locally and then to write those updates back to your CRM. Now, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's totally doable. And now that we have this good infrastructure in place, it's a great way for you to take your data wherever it lives using an MCP server, which is essentially a way for, HubSpot and Claude Code to connect, not only read the data, but send the updated data back. MCP servers are meant for this programmatic building right here. Then it's a great way for you to connect it to, all right? Now, let's say we have a competitor or someone else that we just want to do some research around, right? We have another slash command here. It's called research, right? And it's going to say run the prospect researcher skill from this, etc., right? And I can just put in any company there, okay, that I want to research. So let's say I want to do some research on, let's say Deloitte, all right? Deloitte, boom, boom, boom. Grab the company handle here. I'll bring this in there. And I'll go back to Claude Code and say research, Deloitte, all right? Now what this will do is it'll put together a full research report on who Deloitte is, competitive analysis, the pros, the cons, etc. And so we have this GTM toolkit for researching, prospecting, ICP scoring, outreaching, and then we'll do the weekly digest as well. And at any point, you can add additional steps into this. So let's say I now want to do competitor landing pages. What you could do is you tell Claude Code how you want to build the copy for those competitor landing pages, and then tell Claude Code to save it as a skill to this repo. And then that will then become a / skill here that you can invoke to then use all this information to then create competitor landing pages around as well. Okay, so Claude Code here, it's turned into your hub, your HQ for creating all these things. And as a GTM engineer, you could do so many things. Claude Code is literally doing the web searching for you. It's checking 5, 10, 15 different articles. It's bringing it all together. It's doing that analysis, that strategy, and just getting you the information that you need to make better decisions. Now, this is not an advertisement for Claude Code. You can use anti-gravity, Codex, whatever. This is an advertisement for using AI to do your job better. If you're not doing it, chances are you'll probably fall behind because your competitors are, the best builders in the world are, and you should be doing it as well. And as you saw from this video, we haven't gone in the terminal. We haven't done anything too complex, but you've still gotten the superpowers of how to use AI in a workflow that you can deeply personalize to yourself. All right, so let's look at this research brief, and then I'll give you some quick tips before we get out of here, and then I'll send you the guide, and you can go start doing this yourself. All right, so for the research brief, again, we're going to find it in the research briefs Deloitte. Bring it back here. We can go research briefs here. I'm going to see Deloitte here, and I can see, all right, company snapshot, the recent trigger, the likely pain point, the tech stack, stakeholders, proposed. Now, at any point, I can go into Claude Code and say, hey, I want the research brief to also include X, Y, and Z, and it will modify that skill. So whenever we invoke this in the future, it will do that as well. Again, personalize it to whatever is best for your company. All you need to do is tell Claude Code to do it for you, okay? Watch. Hey, Claude Code, for our research skill, let's make sure that we're finding all of the social handles and are including that in the research brief as well. Thank you. All right, simple as that. So we have this repo that is going to be included in the link below or the comment GTM guide, and I'll send it to you. Then you know how to clone it locally. You know how to set it up on your infrastructure. You now have all these skills available for Claude to execute on your behalf. You know how to create skills. You know how to modify skills. You know how to run parallel agents by having Claude doing this with bulk, whether it's a CSV or adding or attaching your MCP servers to bring in your own CRM. I told you about the ability to add additional enrichment opportunities with like Apollo and whatnot to make this even stronger. All of that is possible now. Coming back here, you can see that the updates were made to the research framework to now export social handles And now that will do it every time going forward. We just personalized it even further. So if you like this video, please like, please subscribe. I do a video like this every single week showing non-engineers how to do more with AI. Whether you're in GTM, sales, customer support, etc. Try to hit a new topic each week and just showing you how to use AI to your own advantage to do more and get better results with doing less work, but having AI do that work for you at a higher level, right? So subscribe, let me know if you like this video, comment below to get this guide for yourself, get started. Let me know how it is for you. Let me know if you added any skills, personalized it. Let me know the results. I hope you find it's very successful. Thank you for your support, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.